YouTube! What's up? Lucas here, Fantasy Football Perspective, bringing you another video. Hey y'all, preseason is over with. That means it's time for that real thing. This coming weekend is the #1 fantasy football drafting weekend of the year, and I'm here bringing you the news over the last week that's going to affect your fantasy football draft coming up, or if you already have a fantasy football team, the roster that you've already drafted. Hey, I appreciate all the love so far. Quest for 1,000 subscribers is real. We're grinding. This is already our 23rd video, baby. Appreciate all the love and support. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. It is free. Let's dig into that news of the week. Shout out to one of my best friend's sister, Kelsey Allen. She offered to redo the logo for the Fantasy Football Perspective. She's in graphic design school. She's trying to get into some logo work for bigger companies. I said, have at it. I'll give you that free publicity. I want you to succeed. So appreciate it, Kelsey Allen. You're the best. Logo's going to look good. She showed me a rough draft. Should be done in a couple weeks. Appreciate it. Hit that intro, baby. All right, YouTube. Let's dig into this. First big story. I'm a Ohio State fan. This one hurts. J.K. Dobbins officially placed on season-ending injured reserve. Hate to see that. He had an ACL tear. As you guys know, I'm an athletic trainer. It's at least 6 months to a year rehab after he gets surgery. I don't know the full extent of the injury. If he had meniscus damage or major swelling within the joint, that means his surgery is even going to be postponed a couple weeks before he will even do it for that swelling to go down. So we're looking at, it's August, we're looking at not returning back at the earliest till middle March, then working himself back in, getting back to full drills by May, June. It's just not looking good. It stinks for this season. Dynasty outlook, if you're a win now team, I'm definitely trying to trade him to get a win now piece. Season long, if you already drafted, it sucks. I hope you drafted Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards is a sneaky pick. He averages 5 yards per carry over the 2020 season. He's a very effective, elusive back. But he's kind of that grinder running back. He's between the tackles. Kind of had like this lightning and thunder approach with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. He just hits that hole hard. He's a solid running back too. I wouldn't reach for him if he falls to you in the 5th, 6th round. Sure, have at it. Those are those type of running backs that we target in the zero wide or zero running back drafts, where you're drafting, the best of the best receivers in the 1st and 2nd round, locking you up a top 3 tight end with Kelsey, Kittle, or Waller. And then you're drafting the guys like Gus Edwards, Mike Davis, Darrell Henderson to kind of fulfill that running back room. You got yourself a nice little team there. Stinks. I don't think it hurts Lamar Jackson's upside. I think he can pretty much produce his running game with any wide or running back in the backfield. I don't think it really hurts him. So I wouldn't be scared. I think the offense of the Baltimore Ravens is pretty running back non-dependent. So I think their offense is still going to be good. They're still going to be a hell of a team. Obviously, when you lose someone like J.K. Dobbins, you are going to lose a little bit on the offensive end. But I don't think it's going to have a major effect on the Baltimore Ravens season. Praying for a speedy recovery, J.K. Hope everything goes all right. Hope your ACL rehab goes great. Get back better than ever. A lot of running backs have tore their ACLs and came back. So keep it up. Keep your rehab up. Good luck, my man. All right. number 2 story worth talking about, and this is more of a dynasty approach. Deshaun Watson expected to spend season on Texans' 53-man roster. Rumors are swirling that the Philadelphia Eagles actually had a trade offer to the Houston Texans that they were actually interested in. What that trade entailed, who knows? Some rumors I saw was potential like Jalen Hurts, Jalen Reagor, and 2 first-round picks. Something pretty crazy. I saw that maybe 3 days ago. It was kind of a rumor off Twitter. I think that tweet's actually been deleted. But the rumor now is Deshaun Watson will not waive his no-trade clause for the Philadelphia Eagles. So, that pretty much leaves the only team in the running seems to be the Dolphins that have the draft capital, have the quarterback that they can send over with that's a semi-equal comparison or value. Still going to take a lot. Too rich for my franchise, I would say, if I was running it with all these legal battles, because we just don't know what's going to happen. Watched a video on Twitter by an actual lawyer that kind of made some very good points. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of what he said about the Deshaun Watson case. But the takeaway was the longer this goes without any resolution, the more at risk for severe legal detriments that Deshaun Watson most likely will get. So, no news is not good news in this situation. So, you want to get it solved as quickly as possible, is what this lawyer said on Twitter. I'm not no lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. Can't even speak right. But I'll take their word for it. It doesn't seem good. There hasn't been any good news come out of that camp in a while. It's been silent. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? But I am not touching Deshaun Watson in Dynasty right now because the future is just not very clear. Definitely don't take him in redraft. Would not touch him. All right. Third story. Doesn't look like much of a story on the screen. Kyle Pitts finishes with 1 grab for 27 yards in preseason finale. All right, YouTube. Gonna take back something. I had Kyle Pitts as someone that I was completely avoiding this year. I gave you the stats about how even if he finished as the number 1 tight end in fantasy football history, he still wouldn't be worthy of a 5th round, 4th round pick because he would still not be a top 5 tight end for the year. But as I'm watching these preseason games, as I'm watching where he's lining up in videos of their training camp, I'm noticing that they are not using him as a tight end, guys. They're using him as a pure receiver, which is a freaking cheat code. They're not expecting Kyle Pitts to come in there and block. I think they're going to use Hayden Hurst for those situations. If they're going to use Kyle Pitts as a pure receiver, there's no reason why he shouldn't have 1,000 yards and 125 to 135 targets when Calvin Ridley's his only competition on the team. He's a cheat code. He's 6'6" and runs a 4.4. I need to get a share of Kyle Pitts the more I'm digging into this. If they really do use him like that and he's used as a receiver, watch out for a heck of a season. He could sincerely have the best tight end season listed as a tight end on fantasy football. Saw a decent comparison on Twitter. I guess Marquise Colston back in the day, the first year when he was a rookie, was actually listed as a tight end, and they used him as a similar kind of mold as Kyle Pitts just in the receiving games, and he had 1,000 yards that year before they finally switched him over to the wide receiver role. So if they're using him in that aspect, no reason why he shouldn't have a top 5 tight end season. It's a cheat code. And last but not least, sad to say it, this was one of my guys I was high on this year. Irv Smith Jr. will undergo meniscus surgery with a meniscus repair. It depends what the actual surgery is once they actually get inside of his body. What I mean by that is, are they just cleaning it up, or are they, stapling the meniscus back down, actually doing a repair, kind of like a patch job to the meniscus, which is kind of the cartilage in your joint line of your knee, your on top of your tibia to your femur. Really depends how long he's going to be out, just depending on the exact type of meniscus repair they do. It could be anywhere from 2 weeks, 3 weeks, all the way to months, 3-4 months. Could be even worse than that if it's bad. The problem with it is if they do a complete repair where they're stapling it down, they're recovering, he will not be able to bend his knee past a certain point or straighten his knee past a certain point for a while. So the range of motion is limited for a long time, and it takes a while for that to get back. If that's the case, we might not see him back this year, honestly, at 100%, because it just takes so long to get that range of motion back. If it's just a simple little cleanup, he'll be back faster than most people will expect. I don't know how bad it is. It says the injury will sidelining for at least the start of the season. I feel personally it's probably pretty bad if he decided to get it at this point after all the preseason games and stuff. Feel like it's probably a bad one. I hate to say it. Don't know for sure, but I feel like it's a bad one. More info to come. Some other things. I don't have the stories up. Check down Teddy Bridgewater won the QB battle. Kind of surprised me a little bit. I think that Drew Lock brings more upside to that offense. Kind of moving the Denver Bronco receivers down my board a little bit after that announcement. I thought that Drew Lock will at least take some chances on some deep balls with Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton and even KJ Hamler. Not so loving it after that. I know that check down Teddy did produce 3 top 24, 25 receivers last year with Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson, and DJ Moore. But, he just plays it safe all the time. I think their offense last year in Carolina is going to be a lot different than it is in Denver. And their offense in Carolina allowed for those safe routes to turn into big plays. Plus, when they have Christian McCaffrey back there, especially at the beginning of the season, defenses had to account for him at all times, which opened up the passing game. So, yeah, I'm not too in love with that decision, to be honest, in a fantasy regard. Probably the better decision for the overall team, but I don't love that decision for the fantasy. Some other QB battles, trying to think off the top of my head that they announced. Andy Dalton starting over Justin Fields. Don't love that. Seems that the San Francisco 49ers might do some sort of weird split. They haven't announced who's going to start yet. Don't love that either. I don't think it gives the QBs enough time to, get into the game and get into a rhythm. So I don't think it's long before Trey Lance takes over that job. I don't think it's long before Justin Fields take over that job. They just bring so much more to the table with their running game. Opens up the running backs, opens up deep threats. They throw better deep balls than both their starting quarterbacks. And, yeah, I just think they bring so much more to that offense. Trying to think of other QB battles off the top of my head. I can't really think of anything worth note. Everything seems to be pretty much written in stone. I know the Patriots haven't decided on their QB yet. I think Mac Wilson's going to be the guy after a while. He's actually throwing receivers open. He seems to be way ahead of where normal rookie QBs are. So watch out for Mac Wilson. Yeah, I think that's it for the big-time news this week. Good, sad news about the J.K. Dobbins, but got to pay attention to this stuff. I know drafts are coming up. Pay attention to Gus Edwards. Avoid Irv Smith. Take him off your board. Who knows how long he's going to be gone. Start thinking about Kyle Pitts in fantasy football. I think he could boom. And that's it, my friends. If you have any questions, please drop them below. I'll give you my opinion on some stuff. Please hit that subscribe button. New show coming out tomorrow. It is the football betting perspective. It's a new show with me and my friend Jim Stroker. I've talked about this a couple times on this channel so far. It comes out tomorrow. Pumped to get that going. Give you my 5 picks of the week, the locked and loaded 5 picks of the week, where I think are the best bets of the week. He's going to give you his 5. We're going to keep track of how we do this year. I'm going to tell you why I think the way I do. He's going to tell us why he thinks the way he does. And our goal is to win you guys some money, my friends. Again, hit that subscribe button. Like this video, baby. I'm going to share this on Facebook, Twitter. Please share my tweet. Let's get this out to as many people as possible. Channel's growing steadily. Thank you for the support. Hey, guys. Have a great one. Peace.